Hello everybody, happy October 1st. I am so excited to be here today to discuss Teletubbies Fact. It has been a topic on Mystery Monday that I've been so excited for. I stumbled upon it. I watch a lot of Rainbot and like literally bless Rainbot. Bless. Because Teletubbies Fact, the actual Twitter account is deleted as of right now, and Rainbot did a fantastic video just covering everything they said, most of the things that they said, like showing the tweets and like all this stuff. So that video, like, you should watch that video before you watch this one, because let me tell you, it is so good. It really saved my butt when I was making this video. And yeah, it was actually my first introduction. I think Loey Lane also did a video on Teletubbies Fact. It is a really dark, really spooky, like, internet mystery. Now, I am of the belief that it is an ARG. An ARG is an augmented reality game. They've been a very, or I guess it's not even really an augmented reality game, you know, it's like an augmented reality experience, if you will. There's been like a ton of this kind of content really coming out in the forefront of YouTube as of recent. It's just really interesting, and we'll discuss that a little bit later, but so my expertise is cinema. I am a film student, I am a film director, I love films, I love filmmaking, and so I made like a cool little cinematic thing with some of my friends that goes through the whole Teletubby Fact story. So we're gonna go ahead and cut to that first before we even discuss through Teletubby Fact, what it is, what happens in the story, blah blah blah.
Look me in the fucking eyes, Sharon. I'm your husband. Harvest is coming. Trust is completely dead to me. I will slice out your veins, put them on a plate, use your blood as pasta sauce, and feed you your own vein spaghetti. If I were you, I would stop talking before something happens to your two kids, Lisa. Why?
What is this account? Dave, please stop doing this. Come home.
Leave me alone, Sharon, you fucking cheater. I never should have married you.
I'm so sorry, Dave, but I miss you. Our kids miss you. Please just come home.
Oh, I'm coming home. I'm coming home with a gun. You're all gonna fucking see God tonight. You made me do this shit.
Where are my children? No, Dave, please don't. Dave, please don't hurt me.
Trying our fucking best. Give us a break. Just put the fucking gun down, Sharon.
I've had enough. I can't take it anymore.
Harvest is near. For the love of God, somebody please love me. Have you ever seen so much pain in a man's eyes? The gun is pressed against my temple. I either die a man or live another day to see myself turn into the monster I truly am. This is the last fucking straw. She took everything in the divorce.
Who's knocking at the door right now? It's 2 a.m. I'm scared.
Stop the pain.
The divorce had to be done. Dave, you were hurting me.
Good night, sweet prince.
What are you doing with that gun, Dave?
Look me in the eyes and you will see Satan himself. The blood of Satan fuels me. I become invincible once his red juices course through my veins. Everybody shall feel my unholy wrath of hell.
This is Sharon's family. We managed to get on her account. If anyone has any information on Sharon's disappearance, please let us know.
You will never find her.
Sharon's dismembered leg was found located in the woods behind the house her and Dave lived in. She is presumably dead. Sharon's family presumed that Dave and Sharon's marriage was often abusive and controlling. Dave was diagnosed a sociopath by his therapist. We have no idea the whereabouts of Dave, but we do know Dave isn't his real name. He had it legally changed in 2014.
I ate your daughter. If you want the rest of her body, she's in the basement freezer. If you try to find me, I'll blow my fucking brains out.
Dave, please just surrender yourself. It will make everything easier.
Okay, I surrender. I'm driving to me and Sharon's house where you're all at right now. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. Ugh.
Wait, Dave, why did the last part of your sentence say run in Russian? Does anyone know what Dave means by run? Why did he say it in Russian? Okay, Dave, I see you now outside from the window. Thank you for surrendering. But what is that in your hand, Dave?
You should have ran when you had the fucking chance. This is Dave now. They're all dead. I'm soaked in the blood of Sharon's family. Forget this ever happened. Never mention this again. Guess I get what I deserve.
A public statement is now being issued. Dave Hutchinson, his alias and real name still unknown, had his home in Salina, Utah, surrounded by Sevier County, Utah Sheriff's Department for the murders of Sharon Hutchinson, the ex-wife, Katie Hutchinson, the daughter, Aiden Hutchinson, the son, Rebecca Jules, Sharon's mother, and Franklin H. Jules, Sharon's father. However, while surrounded by police, Dave pulled a Glock 19mm, presumably from his back pocket, and turned the gun on himself. He died at around 9:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, October 12th. Sharon's Twitter account was still left open when the police found her phone after her parents live tweeted right before Dave committed his murders. Dave was founded to have ran a parody Teletubbies account that consisted of unusual dark tweets, none relating to the popular children's TV show, The Teletubbies itself. Him admitting to the murders of Sharon and her family raised speculation about Dave, as most fans and followers believed it was all part of the joke. David Hutchinson, aged 36, is now dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Our hearts and condolences go out to the relatives of Sharon and Dave, who we wish recover from this traumatic experience. We appreciate the help. Both accounts will be deactivated within a few hours, or whenever we have the time to do so. Thanks to all. USCPD. It's frustrating we had to get back on this account, but everyone please stay off teletubbiesfact. It appears the account has been hacked. Hacked by probably a fan or someone else. Dave passed away last night and it would be in everyone's best interest to leave it be. USCPD. The hacked tweet has been deleted. USCPD. Breaking news! The man who pulled the gun on himself Thursday night was not Dave. Dave has reportedly left Sevier County. Lock your doors.
You all thought it was that fucking easy. I am not human. I am the devil himself. Sharon's flesh fuels me. You will all pay for your sins.
If you see anyone suspicious around Utah, we have to find Dave before it's too late. Please contact us if you spot Dave or know where he is. Dave tweeted this fake picture to throw the USCPD off. This was not us. Dave's cousin Roy Sanders was identified as the man who shot himself. Dave's vehicle spotted at a gas station in Englewood, Colorado earlier at around 10 a.m. This is a real-life situation. Please be aware. If you see this vehicle around Englewood, Colorado area, please contact us.
You will never find me.
I've seen enough. I'm withdrawing from this investigation. Someone else try to search for this psychopath. Breaking! The manhunt for David Hutchinson is temporarily over for now. The investigation may or may not resume soon. Our apologies.
He bled like a faucet. He's looking through my window, but he'll never find me. 3 boys, 1 baseball bat. I met them out in the field earlier tonight. None of them will ever see their family again.
So, Teletubby Fact is a dialogue between 2 Twitter accounts. It is a dialogue between the account Teletubbies Fact, and it is a dialogue between another Twitter account named Sharon Teletubby. Love that. So as you kind of gathered from the bit with all the tweets, it is a kind of breakdown of relationship between a husband and wife, leading to a bunch of really horrifying, both self-destruction as well as destruction of others. So it's a really, really interesting story to begin with. I think it's a really interesting format. I am not sure why Teletubbies was picked as like the kind of catalyst, I guess, or I suppose, or like the kind of like face of this account, but it's really, I mean, it's interesting for sure. It makes it more, I guess, it makes it stick in your head a little bit more than if it was just like Dave and Sharon arguing on Twitter. It gives like, it really like, translates the account into this like augmented reality type of area where it draws for me at least, it draws a distinct line between being real and being fake. You know, I think it's very clearly fake and not really happening, and I'll discuss through that too as we go along. But yeah, what do you guys think of it? Like, just like offhanded, like just from the beginning. So it's really, really interesting. Now, there's a type of 3-act structure to where Teletubbies Facts goes through. Now, the first act kind of begins with kind of the creation of Dave's account. It begins with Dave kind of like putting out tweets, discussing his feelings through the account initially, and the kind of catalyst that moves Act 1 into Act 2 is when Sharon gets involved, and specifically with the tweet, what are you doing, Dave? Like, what is this account? Like, come home, like, you know. So it's at this point in the story it was revealed that the two have gotten a divorce, and I kind of see Act 2 of the story starting out with Sharon's death. You know, you find out that her leg has been found like behind their house or something, and it's just super horrifying. It's pretty horrific, actually. I think it's really interesting how these types of experiences that the internet creates, these types of stories that the internet creates, it's like not really, it's not really film, it's not really theater, it's not really like a book, it's interaction on social media that creates the story. I think it's really interesting how the imagery that's often used is very overtly violent imagery, or like very, very horrifying imagery. Like Teletubby Fact especially, like some of the dialogue that Dave gets into is very, very dark, it's very, very horrifying. It's really like disgusting at times, and it's just, I don't know if people feel like that they can express themselves or explore the darker side of reality and the darker side of humanity in this kind of area, or in this kind of storytelling format, but it's definitely something that I notice a lot in Teletubbies Facts as well as other ARGs. So throughout Act 2 is the longest, and I think Act 2, I want to say that Act 2 is the rest of the Teletubby Fact story that Rainbot covers, and that the rest of like the little like section chunk that you saw before this covers. Marilyn, you want to not squeak that right now? She's just like, oh, you're filming? Let me just squeak every toy. Anyway, so with Teletubby Fact, I see the Act 2 coming from the rest of the Twitter account, as well as the rest of like the initial story that Rainbot covers and the initial story that you kind of saw in the beginning section of this video. Act 2 covers Sharon being killed, Sharon's family being killed at the hands of Dave, the police getting involved, and the police promptly exiting the situation. Yeah, it's kind of a Teletubby Fact, where it's at in the end of Act 2 is left very open-ended. You're not sure if Dave manages to escape the police or not, because there is a lot of dialogue within the police where they go back and forth on, oh, Dave was killed. Oh, wait, it wasn't Dave. It was his cousin. Oh, you know, or, oh, you know, we don't want to cover this story anymore. We don't like it. We don't like Dave. We can't deal with this maniac. We can't deal with this crazy person anymore. I think Act 2 encompasses a lot of the horrifying elements of Teletubby Fact, but I also think that it goes really in on like the darker aspects of storytelling that we talked about a little bit earlier. A lot of Dave's threats are very horrifying. A lot of Dave's description of what he's done to everybody is very horrifying. He talks about cannibalism. He goes in very graphic detail about murdering people and all this stuff. But it's also, at the same time, you're comfortable reading it because it's here as well that the story seems very not real, very, like, I hesitate to say fake because of the negative charge that word has, but it kind of like lends to the fictional aspect of it, and that's namely through how the police act throughout the Teletubby Fact story. Now, the first biggest thing is, I mean, Rainbot covered this critique of Teletubby Fact as well, but the police, they start using Sharon's account like to communicate with people about the situation, and like a police would never use a civilian account to communicate information about a ongoing investigation. Also, the information the police release during Teletubby Fact, it's a combination of either completely wrong information or like taking back information like way more than an official press release would be. I think one thing Rainbot points out as well is that they use the Notes app on an iPhone to like get an official police report across. So I mean, it kind of like, it weakens the story and it kind of plateaus it. So like the very overt graphic imagery is very like horrifying and it raises the stakes. However, the way the police act like kind of lowers it again. It's also at this point within, like, as this is happening on Twitter, as this story is going on Twitter, it was last winter that this all happened. There was another account called Scary Larry. He's a Twitter user, and he said there was a Twitter glitch of some kind that let him see a deleted tweet that Teletubby Fact posted, and it's one of the really graphic ones. So he took a screenshot of it, and on the like normal Teletubby page, I think it was like a picture of like the Teletubby sun, like the happy sun that comes up. He replied to that tweet with a picture of the deleted one and said, "Hey, nice tweet." And then Teletubby Fact messaged him in Russian saying that he was on their list and that he needed to go run and hide. And and then they also sent like a blacked out sun and like a really creepy picture to him. Now, I think that's just like Teletubby Fact kind of messing around with somebody. Now, if I were in that situation, I would be horrified. I would be terrified. I'd be like, I'm out. I'm deleting my Twitter. I'm making a new one. Bye. Yeah, so that's another kind of like area of depth that this story has. And it's also an area of depth that ARGs get, or augmented reality experiences get, that other mediums don't necessarily have. Like with a film, you don't necessarily have that in person as it's happening dialogue. In theater, you can't have that. Like theater, you can have that. So I can't really like relate, like draw a distinct difference. But I mean, in theater, like more often than not, it's an experience where when you come in, you know it's a fictional experience you're about to have, or you know it's a type of entertainment experience you're about to have. But with these social media stories, there's still a degree of, well, is this real? Is this really happening? What's going on? Like, so that's another really interesting element that I think Scary Larry brings in. Now, a lot of people have like speculated that he created it, but I think with how he reacted, like he seemed genuinely really terrified. So I don't think he actually had anything to do with the Teletubby Fact account. So the story kind of ends with Dave, the owner of the Teletubby Fact account, getting off the radar of police, and his account is deleted. I'm not sure when his account was deleted, but at the time I began researching this video months ago, it was just like deleted. It was off the face of the earth. However, there was a plot twist because there are two other Teletubby accounts that are active that are participating in the story. Now, I'm going to discuss this within the two, but I don't know if they're related. I don't know if they're the same creator. I don't know if they're different creators, like copycat creators. So one of the accounts is called Teletubby Update. It features the same kind of format of Dave's tweets. And from my perspective, this account out of both of them seems like the one that could be by the original creator and by the same creator, mainly because it goes into the third act of the story. And now the third act has a lot to do with remorse. It's really interesting because we're going to be talking about a channel in November, and it's called the Deeper channel. And that channel as well, it's a bunch of very just strange videos strung together that loosely kind of tell a story. And their videos kind of start off with like a perpetrator. It starts off with voyeurism, it starts off with looking at something, and it goes into kind of like death themes, and then in the third act it kind of comes back around to remorse, to cleaning up, to those types of things. So Teletubby Fact kind of turns around like that as well, especially if you believe the Teletubby Update is a continuation. Now what you can see when you get to the page of Teletubby Update is an apology, and it's him begging for Sharon's forgiveness. It's a lot of kind of that stream of consciousness type of dialogue you saw with Dave in the earlier Teletubby Fact story, when he's discussing through his feelings, when he's discussing through how he feels about himself, how he feels about the world around him, how he feels about what the situations he's gone through. You get a similar feel to that, just in terms of just with him feeling remorseful and him feeling upset for his actions. His apologies kind of pick up where the Teletubby Fact left off in terms of time. You see them tweeting around November after everything's already happened with the Teletubby Fact account, and then you also see this account continuing through May. Their last tweet was May of this year, still discussing through and still kind of processing through what he's going through and what his remorsefulness kind of, it seems like he's going through, like, it feels like he's going through a lot internally that's being like just dramatized in this account. So that's why I feel like it makes sense that it's like a continuation of the story and that it's by the original creator. I'm not 100% certain though, so don't necessarily take that as fact. Teletubby Fact. The second account is Teletubby_fact. It's still open. Now, it only tweeted around the same time as Dave's initial kind of Teletubby Fact like story. So that's what makes me be more skeptical on it. And also, this account has a lot of stuff in terms of like, I think it interacts with the Teletubby Update account and calls and discusses copycatting and discusses like copying stuff and like how like original thought and all these things. So I mean, it could be the creator just like kind of trying to add a red herring in, but it really feels like a fan account. There's a ton of pictures that don't necessarily match the vibes of the original Teletubby Update media, like in photos and videos. So that's what makes me feel like it's distanced from the original creators, but it's also really interesting. It doesn't really provide anything as to the story that we don't already get from the original account and what we get from Teletubby Updates, but it's still something really interesting if you want to look into that. So we've discussed the whole kind of augmented reality aspect of this. Now, augmented reality has found a really interesting home on social media, and it's found a really interesting, it's a really big social media niche, and I think it's amazing. Like, I love those kind of augmented reality stories. Now, I really like, there's this video of Rainbots that I will link in the Twitter down below, in the description box down below, that discusses through some kind of, because augmented reality is getting to a point where there's a lot of them coming out, and some of them, like, it used to be every single one that came out was so interesting and so full, and so the dialogue was so interesting, kind of like Teletubby Fact, but now you have so many of them coming out that they kind of fall under the same tropes. They kind of like try and copycat how the other accounts came to fruition. They're really focused on like just getting fame and getting like, oh my god, Charlie, you scared me fucking bad. So augmented experiences like this on social media fall in this really interesting place. Like, I think they're so interesting, and I think they're quite amazing. But as like Rainbot's video discusses, there are quite a lot that are just kind of trying to ride the wave, and that's like very disappointing. But you know, that's fine, because we always have stuff like Daisy Brown, like Ash Vlogs, like Teletubby Fact. We'll always have those to keep our augmented experience reality things close to our chest. We'll have Markiplier. Markiplier was another one, yeah. So that's my whole spiel about augmented experience. How do you feel about stories like this? Do you think that they're all kind of fear-mongering? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you think they're way too complex? Do you think they're stupid? Like, what do you think about them? Let me know down below. I'd be so interested. As I kind of went over already, there are some critiques to this story that makes me 100% sure that it is fact. I mean, not 100%. You could never be 100% sure about anything. But that make me 99.9% sure that it is not real. Now, that is, as I went over the way the police act, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense at all how the police act during the situation. They use a civilian account to make updates. They take back their updates quite a bit. There was a picture from like years ago used as police, like, there was a picture that Dave posted that said, I finally get what I deserve or something, and the police were outside of his house, and that picture was found to be like really, really old, according to Rainbot's video. And as well, Rainbot points this out. Now, this isn't something that like, I think like disproves it right away, because like, I mean, this isn't something I would see like most people checking like right away when they see this unfolding. But both Twitter accounts for Sharon Teletubby and Teletubby Fact were created at the same time. They were created the same month. So that also kind of just like leads me to believe that it was like, oh, this is a story. Let me make everything at once for the story so I could start making the story and blah, blah, blah. Now, Sharon's account still is up. It's a private account. I've been pending to follow for at least a month now, so I don't know how active she is, but Teletubby Fact is deleted, and that's sad. So if you really want to know what was on the account, I would check out Rainbot's video, as I've said this whole time. That is all for me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Mystery Monday. It's kicking off October. I'm so excited to be here with you. There are going to be a lot of videos coming out this week. For fall, I'm kicking off my fall bucket list, so you could check that out on Wednesday. I am doing my first fall bucket list video as well later this week. And then I'm also launching a series on my YouTube channel called The Weekend. So I'm so excited. There's so much content coming out for you guys. I'm so excited to keep like creating content. I've just loved making stuff for YouTube. It's been just so fun. I'm still in this phase where like I'm still trying to like learn and figure out like how my content is going to be and all this stuff. But I am very proud with where I am at and where everything's going. And I'm so happy you guys are here to share it with me. All 5 of you. Just kidding. So if you have any questions, let me know in the description, like in the questions down below. If you have any comments, let me know anything. Let me know anything. How was your day? How do you feel about Teletubby Fact? Does it spook you? Are you scared? Are you frightened? Well, I will see you guys next time. Well, actually, Marilyn, do you wanna be in the video? She's very upset. She's been sitting here the whole time at my feet, just bugging me. She's been here bugging me. Have you been bugging me? So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next week for a really interesting Mystery Monday on the psychology of idols and the psychology of fan groups and one specific internet figure from back when the internet first began. And I will see you this week for all the amazing fall stuff coming out, and so, without further ado, goodbye!